Beyonce, her addition to that day. Now, we saw the Carter Knowles, the Knowles Carter family. I had it in the wrong order. We saw the Knowles Carter family at the Super Bowl, and they looked like they were enjoying themselves. You know, Beyonce was up there in her white hair, you know, minding her own business. And then, child, I guess that's when they just dropped that Verizon commercial, and it was just sort of like, okay, Beyonce is sitting up there in her skybox, you know, minding her own business, just got her glasses, her hat, you know, her hair, and she just sitting there, and it's like, girl, you got all this shit going on social media. You gotta love Beyonce. You gotta love her. That girl do all kind of shit. She feel whatever the fuck she feel like doing, and I just be so amazed, you guys. So yeah, they released the Verizon commercial of her supposedly trying to break the internet, and Verizon, the whole you know, gist of the whole commercial is nobody can break their internet. You know, the fact that you're gonna always have a good connection. And we know that Beyonce breaks the internet all the time. So it was like her supposed to be breaking the internet, doing all of these things, playing instruments, flying to the moon, you know, all of those things, and nothing breaks the internet. So it was really, really cute. But also she released 2 songs. And we find out that Beyonce, it was always rumored, I had been hearing it since the first act, Renaissance, came out. She is now confirming that the second act will be out on March 29th, which is Joe's birthday. Shout out to Joe, my son. She's releasing it on that day. It will be the second act. And, you know, for all intents and purposes, you guys, it's going to be a country album. It's like, Beyonce, girl, you is killing me. You was killing me. You is killing me. Okay, you is killing me, because I would really, really just love an R&B album. Okay. I have every faith that Beyonce will do fine with the country genre. Country is not my genre. But I do, you know, there are some country songs that I like, but as a whole, that's not a genre that I normally would turn to. So the fact that she's coming out with this, I think that Beyonce, now you guys know that country music is more about storytelling. And I think Beyonce wants to tell some stories. I really do. I feel like she's to that point where she's kind of feeling like, because I told you guys before, Beyonce don't never address anything, but she addresses everything in her music. And I feel like maybe this is her way of being able to kind of talk to us, talk to her fans, and talk to people more. You know, if you look at the words for 16 Carriages, remember when I told you guys that if there was a question, one question I could ask somebody or ask Beyonce, what would it be? And I said I would ask if she was happy. Sorry about that, you guys. My camera died. But if you guys look at the words to 16 Carriages, granted, I think that she probably wrote that song back when she was 38. I'm doing my own calculations, me and my girl Kia. Shout out to Kia, girl. You know, we was trying to figure it out. But I think that she probably wrote that song when she was 38, because she says 38 summers and everything. But I think that when right after around the time she had them twins, I think that she was probably at her most stressed and unhappy. Okay, just read the words, you guys. I am a big proponent of reading words. That's why I love Lucky Day and Music Soul Child. I think that they are like such great lyricists, and like Stevie Wonder. Like, I have extreme respect for people that write, that really say it, you know, that's saying something in their songs. I love Lucky Day and Music. Anyway, I'm getting off track, but yeah, just try to read through the words of 16 Carriages and just see. I think that Beyonce was very unhappy, very overwhelmed, stressed. Might have been going through postpartum still. You know, sometimes it takes a while. I don't know how the twins are, but I'm assuming the 5 years ago is around how old them kids are. Somewhere in that time, either before or after she had them kids. But I think her family keeps her sane. I think her family keeps her level and happy. But I think that Beyonce is getting to the point where, I mean, she really has to share a lot of her we just don't realize how much people sacrifice to be who they are. You know, of course, we always have to think of Michael Jackson and what he died as as a, you know, opposed to when he was at his height. You know, Michael Jackson died trying to please his audience. You know, I don't ever want Beyonce to get to that point. You know, I just don't. I love the girl enough to be like, girl, if you tired, just go sit down. Now her fans, they demand her, you know, and so she used to, like, everything they said to do, she would do that. But now she, like, you know, she's strategic and she figures out what she wants to do and she does that. But I still feel like Beyonce is getting to the point where she like, man, I'm about tired of this. Like, I just want to go be with my kids and I just want to be with my husband and all of that. You know, even though, like I said, some 5 years ago, it shit probably was rough, you know. She just had kids, you know. I'm sure Jay put her through some shit, you know. We knew that from Lemonade. I do believe that they figured it out now, and they look very happy together and have all, you know, you get to a point where you can, if you're going to get through all of the turmoil and shit, if you land on the other side of the turmoil, you know, then you guys be like, okay, at least we good now, you know. I do believe that, but I believe there's, you know, she's human. And I think people forget that. So all that to say, listen to I think that she's doing this country album because I think that Beyonce is probably going to open up. Not necessarily so much about her marriage anymore. I think that she's done with that because that did bring a lot of speculation on her marriage when she released Lemonade. But now I think she's really ready to just kind of talk more about what was going on with her personally. So, you know, I'm just like, we'll support, because you already know the country crowd is not really trying to. You already heard about the Oklahoma radio station that said that they don't play Beyonce music, and then they had to come back out because the Beehive got on that ass, and they were like, oh, we don't normally play Beyonce, so that's why we said we don't play Beyonce, but we are looking forward to hearing her country music and all that. It was just like, nah, bitch, you guys knew that Beyonce had released that fucking song. Whoever said that was like, okay, so yeah, we know that Beyonce don't sing country, but you know that she released that song because you was watching the Super Bowl. Somebody at that radio station was watching the damn Super Bowl. And so they knew that she had that song, and they was just being, you know, facetious, smart, trying to be asses. So, but, you know, then they came out and they was, you know, pussyfooting and whatever the saying is that Alex and them say. I done forgot, child. But, so yeah, I mean, I'll support, because there are going to be many people that are going to be coming at her. And one thing I'm not going to stand by is for y'all to just be trying to dogpile and jump on the girl. Okay? I mean, the Beehive ain't going to allow for that. But you already know that country music, remember when she sang at the awards that one year, how much of it everybody was all crazy and upset about that when she sang with the Dixie Chicks, I think it was, or just the Chicks now. But, you already know this gonna be the rednecks. It's gonna be plenty of the trailer park. It's gonna be plenty of all of that. Folks just don't want to fuck with Beyonce that way. But I'm going to support, because I'm not gonna never throw my girl to the wolves. Okay? So even though I don't want to hear this shit, I'm gonna take it. And it might be cool. You know, I mean, Beyonce is an artist, and you know, she ain't just gonna put out no bullshit. But yeah, every time I hear that banjo come across my feed, I'll be like, ah! Of it. I hear this ain't Texas. I'll be like, oh God. Yeah, the song is called Texas Hold'em. I think, did I tell y'all that? And then the other one is 16 Carriages. Okay. So anyway, and you know, I've seen a lot of interesting takes on Beyonce and, you know, her calculated efforts and the things that she does, and full of intention and everything. I mean, nobody is ever gonna say Beyonce is not prepared. Ever. That girl, I feel like she already knows what she's doing in 3 more years, 4 more years, 5 more years. Okay? You got to have a special brain to be able to compartmentalize and put your, you know, thoughts out there and shit. So, nothing but respect for Beyonce. But I can see some of the points. Did you guys see James? He has a really interesting perspective on it. So, you guys should go and check out his videos and see what he's talking about. But yeah, you guys, as far as this country album, it ain't my favorite. Now we gonna see what Act 3 gonna be. I am really hoping for R&B. I was like, my girl ain't gonna let us down, is she? Some people are saying maybe it's gonna be a Destiny's Child reunion, you know, but then people are like, well, I don't know if Latavia's up to it. I was like, it's not going to ever work if they don't have the original girls from yeah, I mean, you can do a Destiny's Child reunion with Kelly and Michelle, but what the people really want to see is Latavia and Latoya, because of all of the drama. It's like full circle. We need to bring it all the way back to where it started. If you're gonna have a reunion, everybody needs to be there, or nobody needs to be there, you know. And I don't know what Latavia's voice, and you know, she's able to sing the way that she was back then or whatever, but we can work on it and get it to par. We're gonna be in the studio, and even if they went on tour, the rest of them girls can sing enough to help Latavia out if that's what needs to be. But if I am gonna see a Destiny's Child reunion, everybody needs to be there. Everybody. Okay? I think that would be a cute, because they can give us old Destiny, you know, Child, Bills, and all of that from I almost said Scrubs, child. I got Candy and Tiny on my mind. But, you know, we can get that part of it, and then we can still get Survivor and, you know, all of the girls and all of that shit from Beyonce and Michelle and Kelly. So it'll work. It'll work. It's going to be a lot, but I think it'll work. And I think that will ultimately help the fans, like, really be excited. I would love to see that. That would be a concert I'm going to. I ain't doing this country thing. I'm not. Okay. But y'all can have it. You know, as far as buying tickets, Roxanne ain't doing that. But if we get that Act 3, and if it's the R&B or the country, the reunion, then yeah, I'm there. I'm there for sure. And then I feel like maybe Beyonce is going to be like, okay, now it's time to sit it on down. Okay. She's got kids. Her kids, the babies, are going to be close to, 10 years old, you know, in the next 5-year plan or whatever. Maybe she wants to be more focused with them and all. So, you know, I feel like she's probably like, let me get all of this shit, the last of the stuff that I want to get out, and then let me sit down. I mean, she ain't going to disappear. Beyonce always going to be there, but maybe it's time to just not be quite giving all of herself to us anymore, you know. And I'm good with it. I'm good with it, you guys. But yeah, I was just like, country. And then you start going back and you looking at like how we've been seeing her, and she been insisting on wearing that fucking white hair and the hat, you know, and it's just sort of like she never wore a hat before, but now she always got a cowboy hat, and now it's just like all of it makes sense. Yeah, like James said, that girl is smart, calculated, intentional, and nothing is an accident. Nothing, down to her damn fingernails, I bet you. Nothing. So yeah, legend in her own right and all, but yeah, y'all let me know about what you think about all of that. And let's get on to the next story. I feel like I've been talking about the Super Bowl for a damn hour. All right, you guys, it ain't been an hour yet, but it's been about 40 minutes, so let me hurry up and get this done. Next story up, Monique. I know you guys are like, Roxanne, please don't talk about Monique. And we're not going to stay long on this story, because what else is there to say? Okay, Monique has now gone from having to deal with all of the backlash that happened with Shannon Sharpe and what she said on there, okay, to now having to fight publicly with her son, her oldest, her firstborn child, who is her son. He's in his 30s. He's a father himself now. And they don't have a relationship. All right. The son has gotten to the point where he is obviously sick of hearing, you know, Monique's side of the story without adding his own context to letting people know some clarity. And so he just decided to finally approach and talk about their relationship. He said he just wants to offer context. Very well spoken. And now, what you're gonna never say is Monique's family. They're all very well spoken people. Monique, even her daddy, even her son. Okay, they can all speak well. So a lot of times when people can speak well, you automatically think that they still don't be on bullshit. That don't mean nothing. Okay, people can be very smart and still be on some bullshit. So stop thinking that just because a motherfucker can speak well, that everything they say is gospel. The son basically said, my mom is lying or is not being truthful about the fact that she prays that our relationship will get better. All that he said in the first response video, him saying that it's just clear that neither one of them want to have a better relationship. She's like, he doesn't try to make a relationship better, and neither does she. I'm imagining when things like this happen, there's plenty of years where you just trying to get it together. You know, sometimes you guys are good, other times you're not good, you know, and that shit can be tiring. And eventually everybody just be like, you know what, we just can't seem to get it together, and forget it. I mean, if I was being truthful as a parent, sometimes my kids get on my nerves so bad, and it just be like, we just can't seem to see eye to eye on it. I do get to that point where I'm just be tired, be like, I cannot talk to you right now. Okay. But the thing with being a parent is you have to remember that your child did not ask to be here. And it really is a responsibility of the parent, I think, really forever, to try to make sure that your relationship with your child, even as an adult, stays intact. Okay. Is it work? Yes, sometimes it is. Sometimes you do have children that you bump heads with, all right? But it is still ultimately, to me, the parent's responsibility, okay? Now, because the child is always your child, even though they might 50 years old, my dad is still my dad. I still call my dad dad, okay? And I still look at him for guidance and everything. And I feel like you as a parent, you owe that to your child. Now, I'm not saying that you got to be perfect with it. It's not ever easy. Sometimes, like I said, these kids will get you so damn mad. But I think at the end of the day, you know, but it is easy to just be like, I can see how it can go from just being a day to some weeks to some months to some years, because it's just like, okay, that part of the stress of your life is out of your, you know, out of your view. And so now you just go on with life. But next thing you turn around, it's been 10 years you ain't talked to your kid. Okay? Who wants that? Your kid got kids. You got grandkids out there you're not talking to. So I don't never like to see when families fight like this. But it always is disappointing when parents, you know, write their kids off. Now, there are times that your kids is just out of control and crazy. And sometimes that's something you have to do in the vein of tough love. Like, you know, okay, I can't fuck with you because you crazy, or you on drugs, or you know, you doing this and you not trying to do the right thing and all that. That's another thing. But sometimes, I mean, you can already look at Monique and her son and realize that, I mean, she admitted that she was a horrible mother and that she wanted to be a celebrity, and she didn't think about being a mother until really she got with Sydney. So you already can tell from just the story, the backstory, how they got to this place. You know, Monique strikes me as the type that gets with a man, and then the fact that, you know, Sydney is supposedly her daddy, you know, and she kind of looks at him as her savior, okay? He saved her from that life of just chasing and always wanting to be the celebrity. No, you now you're a wife and you got other kids with this man. But what about the first one? So she kind of might be that type of mother who, okay, now that she's got the whole picture, she's not a single mother, you know, out there struggling on her own anymore. Now she's got the whole picture, a husband and more kids and everything. Okay, now she can feel like she can work the job and everything. But now that first kid that you ain't talked to, that you done decided to stop talking with and fucking with and everything, like you've been alienated that kid, and now you got a husband in here who, if he is your savior, he talking like he your savior, and he probably has pushed that relationship. I'm not going to even speak on how he, you know, what Sydney has done to that relationship. I'm just going to go by what Monique and the son, because really that's what we should be talking about. The fact that Sydney responded to the son, he had all that to say before Monique had anything to say. And it was just like the son didn't really say anything about Sydney. I mean, he didn't, to me, this is a Monique and Shalon, or Shalon, whatever, how you ever say his name. This is their issue, not Sydney's. Okay? But the fact that he spoke and talked about all of that, and, you know, she was just over there co-signing, I was just like, this is... Like, the boy has already talked about the fact that it bothers him that Sydney has gotten in between him and his mom, and then Sydney is the one that responds. You know? It's not... I'm not gonna say I think that is great that Monique changed once she realized that that wasn't the way that she would be. But I think that is bad that she hasn't been able to get her oldest son back on with her. I mean, he seems reasonable enough to me. Even when he responded the second time, you know, like he doesn't seem like a person that is, I mean, you know, people can, you don't know how a person is until they, till they present themselves. But I like to think that sometimes, most of the times, I'm a good person, a good judgment of character. He just seems like he is a good guy. He's had a rough child. I mean, his own mama admitted that she wasn't shit, you know, so it's not like he's lying. And he's just telling you guys what it was. You know, I saw Monique come out with the text messages. Oh, this is supposed to be a woman that don't care about her son. And, oh, my baby, my sweet baby. And don't talk to me like you talk to everybody else on social media. Like, you call everybody sweet babies on social media, so I'm going to need you to come up with another name for me. Okay? But just even their responses on those text messages, all very surface. Like, it just never, I don't know. And then we're not even going to talk about the fact that it was in 2021 and this is 2024. You don't have any more text messages that you can show us, so that means that you haven't fucked with your son for 3 years. How is he supposed to think that you care about him? He don't know what you think. Hell, he ain't talk to you. Okay? So, I don't know. I hate to see this kind of stuff happening. And I will be the first to tell you as a parent that parenting is not easy. So I'm not saying that Monique, you know, but it's just like you always should be working hard, to me, to try to get, if it's a situation where it's just a whole bunch of just misunderstandings and, you know, we just can't seem to get it together and the tension, it's just like, what do we need to do to try to get past this? But if folks don't want to, then that's fine too. And I think he's okay with it. And if he's okay with it, and Monique has been okay with it, then it's fine. But don't come out back and now say, oh, I do really care about my son. And he's sort of just like saying, just like, no, I love my mom. She's awesome. She's done everything. But she don't want it with me. And I don't want it with her. And that's okay. You know? So, I mean, I'm not mad at Monique, because everybody seems to be where they want to be. But I do think that, I don't know, I feel like when she gets to be in her 70s and 80s, you know, that she might regret that. And that's one thing, I don't ever want to die. I don't want to die with thinking that my kids felt anything other than they love me to death. Because that's how I feel about my parents. Look, why am I getting emotional? You know, I done told y'all I don't know what shit done changed in my life, but everything is family, you know. And yeah, I hate to see it happening, but I understand, and I just feel like I'm on Shalon's side. He doesn't strike me as a liar. I mean, the lying part of the story is not even is not the question. It's just that me and my mom don't have a relationship. She don't want it with me, and I don't want it with her. And that's it, you know. So, but it's too bad. I feel like Monique thrives in chaos. And those kind of people are the people that I stay away from. I can't stand people that love all that. You guys know that about me. You know, somebody sent me a video about Monique and Sydney probably being codependent on each other. I didn't watch all the video, but that actually was a very interesting video too. Maybe I'll mention that in the description box as well. But yeah, I just to me, you have labeled yourself as very difficult to work with, and even though Monique has many valid points, I don't know who would want to work with her. Because the minute somebody says, here she come with a press conference, like my friend said. Anyway, you guys, yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Let's move on to because I got to hurry up. Let me move on to the next story. Speaking of Monique, well, we didn't really speak of Shannon Sharpe, but let's talk about Shannon Sharpe versus Mike Epps. I was just like, well, people just be on social media. I don't know what happens on social media now. Everybody is just crazy. It's just foolishness. So Shannon Sharpe, he's all the talk now because everybody goes on there and they expose whatever they want to expose, and he gives them the space to do that. We still talking about fallout from the Cat Williams interview, and you guys know that Mike Epps, he was like, I want to go on Shannon Sharpe. He was kind of feeling like he wanted to be a part of the whole thing. So I guess on his little stand-up tour, wherever he be performing, he had said some shit, in his little jokes way, like, actually I got here what he said. Where am I? Y'all, I can't see. I have to get my readers. Let y'all see. I just want y'all to see my reader. So what it said here is, so Shannon Sharpe had a problem with Mike Epps because he felt like he was lying. Okay? But I'm going to tell you what Mike Epps said. He said, he called Shannon Sharpe zesty on the stage. Okay? He said, that nigga Shannon Sharpe called me trying to do an interview. I said, no, Medea, I ain't doing no interview with you. So you can sit across from me and look at my balls. The nigga shit is called Shay Shay. The nigga is telling you, put a wig on that motherfucker and tell me if that ain't motherfucking Medea's sister. Yeah, I guess that would make, a nigga a little upset, especially a big old swole bufferino like Shannon Sharpe. So Shannon didn't like to hear that. Okay, now, yes, it's jokes and all. He's a comedian. So I'm just like, Shannon, it's really okay. He's a comedian, but yeah, don't, I don't know. Let's stop using being gay as an insult. Okay, this is these people's lifestyles and shit, and then oh yeah, he's Medea, or that's Medea's sister. Like, that's tired. Let's stop doing that, But it is offensive to a person that is not gay. If you say I'm gay, I'm not gay. Okay? So don't call me gay if I'm not gay. So, I understand why Shannon Sharpe will feel, especially as a man. It's a little different. Calling a woman gay to call a man different. Gay is two kind of different connotations there. But, so Shannon Sharpe was mad. Okay, and he was on his little talk that he has with Ocho Cinco, which is always funny because Ocho don't be knowing what the hell is going on, but he's still gonna have his homeboys back. He ready to whatever he mad about, Ocho mad about too. But he said that he didn't really care about the gay comments. I was like, I'm sure he did, but he was like, I know I'm not gay. So he, that wasn't what he was upset about. He was more mad that Mike Epps had said that he had reached out to him and wanted him to come on the show, because he was like, I did not, and that is a lie, and I can prove it. And I was just like, you going this hard about whether or not he lied about, coming on the show? I was like, no, Shannon, you were a little affected by him calling you Medea's sister, okay? But you already know that you can't act like it bothers you like that, and also that's why you trying to get more upset, because he's like, he ain't got the emails and the proof and all this, and he gonna do this next time he see Mike Epps. And I was just like, okay. Why you this mad? But okay. Anyway, they had some going back and forth. Mike Epps did admit that he was lying about that. That's part of the whole jokes things. But okay, maybe he did go too far. So he was just still kind of laughing and everything. And I was just like, when you look at Shannon Sharpe and Mike Epps, you don't want to see these two fight. Like, Shannon Sharpe, big, he looked like he full of testosterone and, real strong, bufferino, one of them niggas that, he looked like he ready to fight any minute, and then, because remember how excited he got at the basketball game that time? And then Mike Epps, what's Mike Epps? St. Louis, Detroit? Which one was it? St. Louis, I think it is. He looked like he always got a gun with him. He don't look like he gonna fight. He look like he gonna shoot. He looked like he got real murderer homeboys that like even drive him around and everything. So like looking at both of them, they don't look like they need to really be around each other. So I was like, I hope you guys can figure it out. So they did finally say they handled it the wrong way, and they plan on sitting down and talking like grown men at the NBA All-Star weekend, which when is it? Because it's usually right after Super Bowl, but I haven't heard much about it, so I'm not really sure. But they're supposed to sit down and they're supposed to hammer it out. And I was just like, okay, as long as it don't come to fisticuffs, okay? Because we don't need to see, boy, Michael Epps and Shannon Sharp fighting. Wouldn't that be something to see, though? So I'm telling you, that Mike Epps, though, he looked like he fight dirty. That nigga looked like he will shoot you. So, yeah, that's what's happening with them. In a few more minutes. Next story. All right, you guys, we talked about this already. I already talked about this on Real Housewives of, one of my videos. Did we talk about it last week? Oh, maybe we didn't. I don't remember. I thought I did, but maybe I didn't. No, I haven't, because this just came out. Porsha has been confirmed that she is coming back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. And you guys, I will admit that actually made me happy. It made me happier than I thought I would be, considering you guys know my relationship, how I feel about Porsha. Okay. Porsha has always been my girl. I was very, very disappointed on how that whole Simon, Guabadia, Fallon, how all that shit went down. And I have been very vocal on that. I stopped following her. I didn't watch her little spin-off show. I just was done, okay? But if I was being truthful, I really do like Porsha. And I feel like people deserve second chances. I mean, Porsha don't give a fuck whether I like her or not. But just for my own thinking, I'm just like, okay, Roxanne, people make mistakes. People do what they do. Like, you can't you just gonna write them off? I mean, she's not a bad person. I just didn't like the way all that went down. But you know what? I can't worry about it anymore. I am happy to see her coming back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think that it's a great idea to have her in Kenya, because Kenya is the only person that has been confirmed outside of Porsha to be coming back. We don't even know if Sheree is going to be back. Apparently, you know, Marlo was on her page on Instagram talking about it for a Fashion Nova ad, but she was talking about, you know, when one door closes. And I was like, is this her, like, cryptic way of saying she won't be back to Real Housewives of Atlanta? And then, you know, they already had kind of told us that Sonya and Drew wasn't going to be back. And so now it's just really Kenya and Porsha. And I would like to see them as a friend dynamic. You know, they can be cute shading each other or whatever, but still being able to laugh and just be on, because, you know, Porsha is now good friends with Kandi. We see her hanging out with Kandi. If you follow her on social media, Instagram and all that, they hang out, they do things, and we know that Kandi and Kenya is close. We know that Kandi is not coming back, Kenya's ally, you know. And so I think that it would just be so monumental to see Kenya and Porsha team up together. Now the thing is, who are they going to be teaming up together against? Okay, that's the part where they've got to be trying to bring it, because we still going to need some turmoil. We're going to need to see all that. We just don't need to see them two fighting anymore. We've seen it. We've been there. We've done that. Let's get back to, because now both of them are extremely fabulous, you know, even more so than they were when they first came on the show. So it's just sort of like, girl, we want to see the real cute black girls, you know, out there shopping, having a good time, going out drinking and, you know, spending time with each other. You guys got girls that are around the same age. Like, it's so many things that they have in common now, you know. I promise you, everybody in Atlanta is trying to look like Porsha, all right? Even Porsha don't even look like Porsha when we first met her. But what I'm saying is just like, they are the girls now. They're like the standard now. And so, like, let them take over this franchise and make it right. Like Carlos King said, like, they saved this show many seasons ago. Let them do it again. The show needs it. Like, they need to be saved. Okay? Like, you see where everybody is feeling about Real Housewives right now. Potomac and Atlanta. So I think that, yeah, this is great. And if they do it right, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, you guys. I think it's going to be great for their ratings at first, and then it's going to die off. You know, unless it's really just a spectacular season. But I don't know if anybody can just, well, we'll see. I won't even speak on it that way. We'll just see. I do think that the potential is there. The potential is there because people really want to see Porsha and Kenya back together again. Okay? But it's going to still depend on the rest of the group. Who else is going to be there? Who are they feeding off of? You still got to have something to work with. And that's why Kenya had a problem last season. So, Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, I won't lie, I'm happy to see Porsha come back. You know, it's still a like, but that's my girl, and I just have to just admit that, you know, I've gotten over most of it. Okay, don't do that shit again, Porsha. As far as Cynthia, you know, people are like, did Cynthia get remarried? She posted all this talking about, you know, pictures of her at a wedding and wedding ring and going out to the car. And y'all can just rest assured that Cynthia's not remarried. That was actually for an ad for a luxury car. I don't know what the car was, but it was an ad. Okay, which I had kind of figured, because I was like, she ain't moving this stealthily. Nobody would have known that she was even getting married, and then all of a sudden she had a big wedding. So no. But yeah, y'all let me know what you think about it. Are you happy to hear that Porsha's coming back? Are you like me, even though, you know, you were very disappointed? You know, will you admit that, you know, you are seeing Porsha? She's just such a bubbly, fun girl spirit. I want that back on Real Housewives. That was what was missing. And people tried to be that, but they just couldn't. Porsha has a ability to just let shit go, like off of her show. Like, she don't worry about certain shit that pisses other people off. She can laugh things off. I think it'll be great. But you guys tell me what you think, and also let me know if you think that Porsha and Kenya need to keep up with the villain dynamic, the villain fighting dynamic, or should they be friends? I think they should be friends. And lastly, in quickies, you guys, just two things. Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan have seemingly decided to call it quits. They're saying that they are no longer a couple. Well, actually, they aren't saying anything, but Larsa has taken all of the pictures of him and her, anything that has anything to do with him, off of her social media. The people from Real Housewives of Miami were just like, we were really shocked because they were like together all the time and seemed happy. But, and I don't watch Real Housewives of Miami, so I don't know what their relationship was like, but they all seem to be surprised. And it did seem to just come out the blue. We knew that there was different chatter talking about maybe Michael Jordan didn't like the relationship and all that, but they kept on assuring us that no, Michael Jordan was fine with it, even though he had been shouted out to the crowd that he was not, you know. But they were like, oh, he's just playing. He is good with it. But then there is rumors that he is threatening to cut Marcus Jordan off. Okay, that's a whole bunch of money. All right, Larsa, now I know you know, you my girlfriend and everything, but I think Michael Jordan was like, if you marry her, well, I don't think that, but the rumor is he was just like, if you marry that girl, you ain't gonna get no more money. Okay, so maybe they just need to be boyfriend and girlfriend, you know. But and now they're saying People magazine confirmed that they've been hanging out recently, so like maybe they just had a big fight and it was emotional. And you know how it is when you just be mad. You know, Larsa's too old to be acting this way, you know. But it was just like, girl, maybe you needed to just kind of wait it out, see if everybody's emotions can calm down, and then you can come back to it before you start already erasing everything and posting cryptic messages talking about, you know, self-love and all of this. Like, girl. Just like with Super Scent and her man, I was just like, I just wish everybody would take their relationship off of the internet, because the internet does not love your relationship. They just love you. So if you fall out with your man or your partner or whatever, and then everybody else fall out with them, but then you fall back in love with them and everybody else sick of them. Okay, everybody's still mad. Everybody, oh, you with that nigga, and you know, he supposedly did this, that, and the other. It's just like, get off of social media with your relationship. Okay. Anyway, now they're hanging back out, so you know, maybe she might add the pictures back. I don't know, but they're saying that it's a done deal on that. Okay. And lastly, congratulations are in order to Jess Hilarious, the newest member of the Breakfast Club. She let us know, well, actually her boyfriend, I think his name was Chris. And it's so funny because she's so strong voiced and I don't want to say mannish, but you would think that the dude that she was with, he would be like super hood and everything, and that guy just didn't sound like it to me. I was just like, oh, okay, I wonder who wear the pants. Not be that way. But anyway, he had called into the station, or they had called him, I don't know, but he was talking about how much he loved her and was proud of her and all that. And then at the end he said, and I'm very proud of our bun in the oven. And they were like, wait a minute, what? And they're like, oh yeah, she's pregnant, you know, so good for her. I think she already has a son who's probably around 12, 13, somewhere in that age. And now she's having a new baby. And just good for Jess Hilarious, because, you know, this is a good time for her. She's got her Breakfast Club gig, and she's now, you know, seems to be in a healthy, loving relationship and having a baby and all that. So, you know, good for her. I think that's great. I think that's great, y'all. I don't have anything else to say. So that's that on that. Let me get off of here. You guys, I gotta get back. All right, you guys, that is it. We do this every single week, so make sure that you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, Roxstars.